So in this video, we're going to be finding the equation of the line that goes through each of these pairs of coordinates. Now, they're the same pairs of coordinates that I did in the previous video, but this time we're going to be using y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 to find the equation of the line, rather than the y equals mx plus c form. Now, in order to do that, the first thing you need to do is work out the gradient of the line. And throughout, I'm going to use the first pair of coordinates as x1, y1, and the second pair as x2, y2. That is just so that I don't have to kind of keep swapping and show you that it works both ways, because we've done that in a previous video. We've shown that it works both ways, so I'm just going to stick with that. So the first thing to do with our example here, number 1, is to work out the gradient. So we're going to have y2, 20, take away y1, which is 5, divided by x2, which is 6, take away x1, which is 1. 20 take away 5 is 15, 6 take away 1 is 5, 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I know the gradient of the line is 3. So I can go straight in with y take away y1, so I'm just going to leave that blank for the moment, is equal to m x take away x1. Okay, now you'll be forgiven for thinking that I always now have to use x1, y1 as the point that I substitute in. I've always got to choose that same one. But actually, this formula is separate to this one. This formula is saying you just need the gradient, m, and a point that the line goes through, which I'm calling x1, y1. That point could be the 1, 5, or it could be the 6, 20. It doesn't matter which one you choose. And as I've shown you in the previous video when we were doing the y equals mx plus c form, I generally would go for the easiest pair of coordinates to work with. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to show you that you could do both. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line, and then I'm going to first of all choose 1, 5 here. So the y1 is 5, so we're going to have take away 5. And 3 lots of x, take away x1, so take away 1. Let's do it with that pair of coordinates first. So multiply out the right-hand side. So 3 lots of x, 3 lots of minus 1. And then add the 5 to both sides. So y equals 3x plus 2. And that's my equation. Now if we'd chosen 620, we would have y minus y1, so 20, is equal to m x take away x1, which in this case is 6. Multiply out the right-hand side. So 3 lots of x and 3 lots of minus 6. And then add the 20 to both sides. So minus 18 plus 20 is plus 2. And so choosing 620 as the coordinates to substitute in ended up working with nastier numbers. Wasn't as easy to get from that line to that line, but so that means that you could choose a pair of coordinates that will be easier to work with. But this is showing you that it doesn't matter which pair of coordinates you substitute in. Okay, just because the labelling, it's unfortunate that we're using x1, y1 and x2, y2 here, and here we're using x1, y1. Okay, that's an unfortunate working with the notation. So be aware that you can essentially choose the other one if it looks easier. Okay, let's try question number 2. So question number 2. First of all, let's work out the gradient. So y2 minus y1 over x2 take away x1. Minus 8 take away 2 is minus 10. 8 take away 3 is 5. Minus 10 divided by 5 is minus 2. Okay? Now, the pair of coordinates that are probably going to be easier to work with is probably the 3, 2, right? So, that's the pair of coordinates I'm going to substitute in for the x1, y1 here. So, y minus y1 is equal to m x take away x1. Okay, so we've got the m is the minus 2, and we've got the 3, 2 as the x1, y1. Multiply out the right-hand side. Minus 2 times minus 3 is plus 6. And then add the 2 to both sides. And we're done. Okay? All right, let's try number 3. So first of all, the gradient. y2 minus y1, so take away minus 50 is plus 50, divided by x2 take away x1. So take away minus 5 is plus 5. Minus 8 plus 50 is 42. 2 plus 5 is 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6, because 6 sevens are 42. So we now have m. Now, which pair of coordinates is probably easier to substitute in? I'm thinking this one. So 2 minus 8. So, y minus y1. So take away minus 8 is plus 8. Equals m, which is 6. X take away x1. So take away 2. Multiply out the right-hand side. 6 times minus 2 is minus 12. And then subtract the 8 from both sides. So minus 12 take away 8 is minus 20. And so that's the equation of my line. Okay, number 4. First of all, find the gradient. M is equal to y2, so minus 44, take away y1, which is 11. Over 7, so x2, take away x1. So take away minus 4 is the same as plus 4. So minus 44 take away 11 is minus 55. 7 plus 4 is 11. Minus 55 divided by 11 is minus 5. So now we choose which pair of coordinates are probably easier to substitute in. I'm thinking this one, okay? Minus 4, 11. So we have y minus y1, so take away 11, is equal to minus 5. X take away x1, so take away minus 4 is plus 4. Multiply out the right-hand side. Minus 5 times x, minus 5 times 4. And then we need to add 11 to both sides. So y is equal to minus 5x, minus 20 plus 11 is minus 9. And so that's the equation of my line.